Dick fingers, laser tits, and the same normal nonsense we're talking about on the Crunch Time After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. This week we're talking about episode 4, The Big Sleep, and what that Dean is up to. Like Andrew Disney likes to say, crunch time, party time. Stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That was one heck of an intro.
Mixed it up. The dick fingers?
Yeah,
A little much?
pretty much
That
that.
was a last second audible. Look at that. Like,
That was pretty great.
I couldn't help it. Like, it literally... Sorry, I can't... The music's taking over.
You just gotta move.
Speaking of last second audibles, this is a great decision.
Why not?
Say, is your chair sinking?
I kind of
Oh,
love
no,
it.
I was playing with it.
I kind of love
Okay,
it.
I was like,
Well, if you're just joining us, what is up? Welcome to episode 4 of Crunch Time After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. I am one of your hosts, Patrick Dees, and I'm joined by the entire Rooster team, as they call us around these parts.
That's correct.
That's us.
Hello, guys. I'm joined to my left by the internet's own Mark B. Donica.
That's right, the internet's Patrick to the D's. I'm the internet's Mark B. Donica on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. And to my left, we have Megan Salinas.
Hey guys, I'm the Menguin. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at that.
at that.
Crushed it.
And you're not going to introduce me. You've broken the chain. I am so
I got you.
To
disappointed.
my left is the lovely
Saved it.
Katie Fallon.
Fucking
Hi, all my
saved
buddies.
it.
You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the hashtag ABTV Crunch Time. We have the live chat up. Do all the fun stuff. You may well get a shout out.
We want to hear from you, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yes, we do.
How is the chat
Talk
doing right
to us.
now?
It's going to be great.
Are we blowing up in the chat?
No.
No. All right. So change
No,
that
we're
if you're
not.
watching this. If you're watching this later, comment at us.
Hi,
we
Caitlin.
wanna
By
hear
the way,
from you.
Caitlin, we love you.
Hi, Caitlin.
Yeah,
A
you
lot.
think?
Hey girl.
You think?
Hey girl. Hey.
Well, guys, it's good to be back. It's been a week.
It has.
This has been so much fun. Just
The Crunch Time as a whole.
yeah.
Agreed.
Like
I think this has been my favorite episode so far.
It's your favorite.
Just enjoyed the hell out of it.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
No vampire dentists. No, that was Shannon.
that
so
is-
that's
that
kind
is-
of a double.
Bless Shannon
That's
McCormick.
kind of a double.
That's the new bar for you as far as a good
Vampire
episode
dentist?
goes, or nothing, or it's not worth watching.
I was gonna say,
out.
are we touching on something that is deeply scarring in your psyche, Mark?
Shannon McCormick? No. That is not. No.
Just laughing because his voice roles have so much range, and his live action roles are Creeper, Creeper with wig,
Creeper with
Creeper with
teeth.
syringe, Creeper with fangs.
Creeper vampire.
God bless.
Awful.
Well, yes, that was Creeper with fangs.
Yeah.
You realize you've wrecked that for me. Like now, that's the only bar I have for an episode. Is there a
whether
creeper? Yeah,
Vampire
totally.
dentists.
This was an interesting one this week, right? Like I feel like this one was a little bit more. Usually we kind of go play by play. We kind of talk through the, each little bit. But this one was a little bit less narratively dense than the first 3, right? Like we made a decision to go one by one, thinking they were all going to be really heavy. We spent the first 3 episodes really world building, kind of setting up who these people are. This is a bit of a bridge episode. A little less to kind of unpack here. I'm curious to see, I'd like to kind of go around and kind of just get general takeaways, and we'll kind of go from there. I want to start with you, Mark,
Okay.
our puppy master, our our conspiracy theorist.
Speaking of the
9/11
Puppy Master,
truther.
that is not
That
true.
is not true.
It was. Do not put that on me.
I'm sorry.
You piece of garbage.
Yeah, but the steel beams, Mark. The steel beams. I don't.
I know. Jet fuel can melt steel beams. Anyway.
Change.com. Please go check it out. No,
Jesus Christ,
I'm
where are
sorry.
we going? Where the hell?
Okay, we're gonna roll it back
Why?
and try
It's just-
again.
no,
Roll out.
Conspiracy theorist.
I was going to talk about our actual puppy master, Larry.
Would you?
Yes.
Talk to us.
We got to see him in the chair, and we found out where he is. Presumably, I still think it's a lie. In the present, in the quote unquote present.
Right.
But we got to see him be the most active that he has ever been.
Yep.
He started on the drinking.
He did.
A little bit too much.
It was making him
Yeah.
woozy.
Yeah, like, oh, then stop. No, I mean my medication.
I mean, it's just.
Well, party time. Hey.
And I love the escalation that he went from like beer in right hand to like handle of vodka in the
bottle
next.
vodka.
Just like
Bless him.
that was a
Wow.
great. It pulled right out from out of frame. It was amazing.
I think that, but speaking to that, I think we're starting to see all of our characters' real colors. Like we're
Yeah.
starting to see, like at the beginning, we're like, oh, they're all totally, definitely responsible,
Right.
and now it's slowly going in
It is.
deeper on and giving all of our characters more dimensions.
Honestly, I think we got the most from Berkman this episode in just one little bit, and this is why it's my favorite episode. I love the montage. I love everything they do in the montage.
Absolutely.
Like, the montage is my favorite part of this episode. It's incredible. But just the bit where they have the flying dream with that girl, and then it turns out she's in a wheelchair and Berkman won't take her money.
Yep.
Like, oh, and now you're humanized.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, as Mark was saying, we're seeing their true colors. And when we were initially introduced to Berkman, he seemed to be just a jerk and like a party animal and
He was
everything
a
like
dick.
that.
I mean,
He was just
he
a
did
dick.
bust onto the scene in kind of a big way.
He did.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did.
R.I.P.
But,
Stackhouse.
like, in this episode, we get to see him fleshed out as a person, and that moment of empathy from him is just, it speaks volumes about the type of person that he actually is. And the thing that I took away from this episode is the more and more we see, the more and more I am convinced that Sam is indeed our villain.
Oh
Wow.
my God, yes.
What gave you that impression?
Exactly.
Fire extinguisher.
him being the worst person in
The
the world.
fire
the worst.
extinguisher.
So talk to me about, so zero empathy for Sam at this point. There's no like, this man's heartbroken, he's just crushed. He's seeing a developing relationship with Berkman, maybe?
Nope.
Well, Megan and I were talking about this a little bit earlier before the show. And if you look at Sam, he's the kind of person where his personality cornerstone has been the fact that he is the son of a quasi-influential, very rich man. He doesn't have a sparkling personality or a lot of charisma. He doesn't bring anything to the science side of this. Like,
Sure.
every problem he's had, he has either been able to throw money at it or withhold money from it in order to solve it.
Bruce
and we
Wayne,
see
he
that,
is not.
Yeah, and we see that with I funded your lab, you have
Right.
to do this, and we see that with I'll pull your funding, and we
Sure.
see that with, he's the rich guy, and his money could not give him Hannah. It could not keep a hold on
Sure.
her. And so all he sees is this thing that he wants that he can't have. And he's one of those very dangerous people who doesn't know how to take no for an answer.
Yep.
Yeah, and to Katie's point, yeah, he no longer brings anything to the table because they're making plenty of money on their own now, and
Yeah.
Making it rain.
making it rain.
Yeah, his money is useless. His money is dried up. He already used his allowance to fund the lab.
He is crushing it when it comes to picking up water bottles and then the dollar
I
bills
mean, he's
off
not,
the
though,
floor.
because he's dropping the water
That's a great
all the way to
point.
the
All
Dig Dang
right,
place.
I stand corrected.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Don't carry that many water bottles at once, you guys. Just don't. You have dollars
And if
for
you
His
do,
one skill
lift
is
with your
man-
knees.
That's a great point. It's a great point. I was personally offended because my one skill, the only thing literally I'm good at on the planet is manual labor. So I was kind of rooting for that to go well for this guy, but it just
No.
that didn't go well either. So let me take one step back though. Before you guys haven't seen episode 5 or 6, correct?
No.
We just-
No.
okay, we blood oath. None of us have gone
We're
forward.
in
No.
uncharted territory
about
after
you
this
guys.
point.
So no spoilers, y'all.
So we
You've
are
been really, really good at it so far.
Real friends. All of my asshole friends who watch Game of Thrones are like, if for some reason we can't watch live, we all agree, and then inevitably we all hook up, and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, no, I saw this. This is really good." And I'm like, I know. I appreciate that you guys are just staying with the blood oath.
This ain't no Walking Dead situation.
Oh, my
Spend the
heart.
rest of the
I
night
said
talking
it's
about-
not
I'm
one.
just saying, I'm still a wreck.
That's a different actor.
You're still erect?
It was-
That's terrifying.
It was after 4 hours, but I was like 8 hours,
Should call
16
your
hours.
physician.
I know.
You should call
I
someone
feel at that
about
point you should call a doctor. Isn't that it? If it
Yeah,
lasts
I
for
think
longer than
that's-
4 hours?
Yeah, that's that's three
Yep,
jokes.
Yep.
We nailed it.
Let's go for 4. Why don't
All
we-
right. Crunch
Fair
time.
enough. Yes. So what Katie, let's you spoke a little bit about kind of this being one of your favorite episodes. Why was it one of your favorite episodes? And then what were kind of your big takeaways?
Hands down the montage.
Okay, let's talk about the montage.
I'm a sucker for montages.
As am
full
I.
stop.
And the series is killing it with montages,
yeah.
right? I totally agree.
And this one was incredibly well done. We got to see everyone's dream sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Words. I have all the best words. And I really
said that?
enjoyed watching that. That's a Trumpism. I'm sorry.
I know. I can't help it. I'm a 9/11 truther. This is a problem.
God damn
This is
it.
a problem. Sorry, go ahead.
Gonna be the
What
most
show are
hated
we on?
after-
I
We're gonna be the
don't
most
know.
hated after show on the internet.
This is Sean Hannity. Will be on. He's calling in a moment.
Oh, God forbid.
I'm
I am
kidding.
out of here if
I'm
that
kidding.
happens.
Sorry, go ahead.
I really enjoyed the montage. I love seeing everyone's dream sequences. I love seeing the variety. One person wanted to be a rock star. One person wanted to get over her fear of heights and her recurring nightmare.
Yeah.
One person just wanted to be a dragon slayer. Like this entire variety of dreams that's not necessarily horrific sex,
Sure,
even
yeah.
though the other side of this montage is the chalkboard, all the different ideas, sex, weird sex, kinky sex. And I love Larry just taking notes.
Fingers.
It was so good. I had dick fingers.
That's a lot of dicks.
I know. I couldn't help it. When I just did the weird wiggle, it was a sick spirit finger, like, you know, like, woo.
Like that to me showed the purity of Larry, because he seemed genuinely surprised at everything.
Yeah,
just like,
just
oh, I
taking
never
notes.
thought about that.
I also would like 10 dicks. Like, yeah, totally.
Knowing this will make me better at my job.
The pups would never do that.
No.
It's weird.
So what? Like, I loved the montage. What were your favorites? Megan, did you have one that stood out for you?
You know, watching them make it rain was hilarious. Going through everybody's like seeing that moment where even Berkman is like, even that? And she's like, yep. And Hannah just has to slide in and go,
Simba.
yeah, has to slide in and
Prince,
go,
bro.
no judgment,
Yep.
Berkman. And the fact that there is something that even Berkman's like,
Wow. Yeah.
Bestiality, not my thing.
It brings it back to like really humanizing him for sure.
I don't know. I think the cocaine coconut was
with
pretty
the actual
humanizing.
daiquiri machine.
Yeah, I know.
I loved that beach
that.
was extremely fake. Like,
think-
that was my favorite
I think
thing
that
about
was
it.
the dressed up brain frame. I think that's why she fell out of her
okay.
dream back into
that's
the centerpiece
interesting.
of the brain frame.
Which they had
Oh, so-
decorated
Yeah.
to look like a little beach party.
Again,
I think because it was decorated and not an actual set. I think that's why it was Larry shittily like, yeah, I guess okay, daiquiri
Well,
machine.
and yeah, we
I
haven't
enjoyed
actually,
that, though,
we
so
haven't,
much.
assuming that that isn't the brain frame. We actually didn't actually see the brain frame itself at all this episode. So I like the idea of them like
We got a
dressing
little
up
bit of it.
the brain frame to be a little bit more like. I guess more like a lounge for like incoming customers.
Lounge.
Yeah, and I love that she had feedback about the daiquiris being a little sweet.
Too sweet.
And
Constructive feedback.
Hannah crushed it. Yeah, exactly. What did she say?
Constructive feedback.
Yeah, it was so
something
great.
like
Yeah, like take it.
workshopping.
Yeah, we'll take it on. Yeah, totally. Take it under advisement.
And then, Sam, can you drive her to her car? She parked off campus.
Customer service.
Like, yeah, because that's what you're good for now. You are the
Right.
highly paid gopher.
Wait a minute. That seems characteristically suspect for Hannah. This is a person who was trying to break up with her boyfriend, gets knocked out and put in a dream machine, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? You're safe enough to go with that person who knocked me out, brought me to a mystery cave, and made me live my terrifying nightmare.
I think
You're
she
safe enough
also
for that.
knows that Sam is still obsessed with her and not this other person, and therefore, as not the object of his obsession, she should be okay.
But is it? So let me
You're
ask.
absolutely right that it's a problem for anyone
Red
to be
flag.
with Sam.
It's a red flag.
But let me ask this side of the table though: is there some girl code associated with like you can't just like pawn your creeper off on somebody else, right?
Well, I think the actual thing is that even though Sam did this horrible thing to her, I think she's still under the impression that he's harmless. You know, she doesn't
Yeah.
have
Okay, fair enough.
the same vantage point that we do of everybody being in the interrogation room. So I think in her mind, and the part of the reason she was breaking up with him in the first place was, his he doesn't exactly have a winning personality, and he's super selfish. So I think
He's
in
white
her
bread.
mind, I think in her mind,
He's taupe.
and part of the reason why he isn't a good fit in the brain frame too is that he doesn't have the will to be in there.
Sure.
He doesn't have a strong enough personality to actually be in there. So I don't think she thinks of him as somebody to, avoid
Yeah.
or to just like 100% steer clear of. I think she's just like, oh yeah, that guy who will do what I tell him to.
And he does.
He's white bread. That's just it.
The overflow jobs, right? Like somebody
Yeah.
needs to pick up the water, somebody needs to drive this person home. Yeah, that's kind of how I relate to it too.
He is the new Larry.
Ooh, that's a good way of
I
putting
mean, if you think about it, is now with the dean, even Larry is getting in on the brain frame, and he's literally nothing.
Yeah,
But that's only because we needed Connor to run the frame.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the one thing Sam does bring to the table in this particular scenario is, and granted, again, very villainous to straight up knock somebody out.
I mean, yeah.
Bludgeon
Second
someone.
time is what makes it messed up.
Because you see Connor with the thing like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know.
I was right here.
And you know that works. You've used it, you creeper. Yeah, totally.
But the thing that he does bring to the table this time is that he's able to puzzle out what it is that the dean is actually afraid of, and it's once again his father.
Yep.
Montgomery Winchester? Montgomery something. W.
Mark Wahlberg? No, that man's an angel.
Yeah.
Larry
Angela
talking
Lansbury,
through his
she
puke.
knows what she did.
Goodness.
I want to take a step back to that montage. Mark, did you have a favorite bit of that? I've got a breakdown
I
here.
really like the Blackjack Swayze joke.
What's there not to
That's
like
pretty
about
great.
Oh
that?
my God, yes.
We love them baby gooses. That was a writer's room line where it was like, this is going in. I don't care what anybody
Right,
says.
yep.
I love them baby gooses.
Yeah.
Is getting in there. So I like that, and I liked the callback with the ant.
Yep.
With the ant coming in and having a
yeah,
full
that
assault.
was
Yeah, absolutely, I
great.
do too.
Yeah.
And
That
I'm not
was a
going to lie,
wonderful bit.
part of me really liked Gavin playing Mortal Kombat.
Or Mortal
That was
Kombat.
Mortal, yes.
Totally
Yes.
not Mortal Kombat.
And his little jump kick flip at the end was just a nice little touch. Like, come out of that thing, you're like animated, right?
Yeah.
Would you guys put yourself into a video game? I know you're both big video game fans. Would you hop into the brain frame to do that?
I don't know. I'd have to think through. So I brought a video game into my brain frame fantasy, right? Like I brought Geralt, which, by the way, at the end of this episode, I was thinking about you, Mark. So at the end of this episode, we see Larry, and then we see what was supposed to be the party of the century. So we're assuming that there's a party going on. Mm-hmm. They're in the
Right
brain
there.
frame together. Why can't you come along?
That's this, by the way.
Why?
That's what I'm
This is
assuming.
this is the party of the century.
We are the party.
This is the party of the
exactly.
century.
It has to be.
Fact.
So you definitely should have come along with like Geralt and Chewie and Neil deGrasse Tyson on my trip. Like you should just be invited if that's
thanks.
just a thing. Yeah, totally.
Hey,
I just want to
man.
make sure. Yeah,
I appreciate that
you
a
should
lot.
Come hang out on the Millennium Falcon with us.
Sounds good.
We'll have our own trip with blackjack and hookers.
Forget the
Bender.
trip.
And he immediately
Let's just get the hookers going.
he immediately leaves this trip, goes to that trip. Yeah,
I know what the fuck y'all are.
nerd.
I'm out.
Well, so the other thing that I thought was really interesting in this episode, for me, was that they'd also pivoted from their business model. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm really interested in whatever verticals they're pitching. We talked a little bit last week on, hey, the fantasies, right? Like, hey, what's your fantasy? What would you do with a brain frame? I was really interested that they also kind of incorporated as their other vertical, what's the therapy? How can you use this as therapeutic? Right? It's another group to sell to. And it instantly got me going. And chat, if you're there, also, please tweet at us. Let us know what you think, what your therapy would be. But I'd like to talk to you guys about like how you would leverage the brain frame technology as a therapeutic option. And Megan's got a knowing look on her face, so if it's all right, I'm going to start with you. So if you could,
Sure.
what would your therapy be?
Well, now, like if we're talking like now,
Yeah.
I would definitely, I would want to go with what this girl did in terms of, because I have a very specific fear of heights. Like not all the time, like, but there are certain scenarios where I'm like, heights are not my thing.
What are those
Like-
scenarios?
Like if I'm going up switchbacks on a
Okay.
mountain, like those are scary.
Got it.
Turbulence on an airplane's real scary.
Fair enough.
Mainly those ones, or just like if you have to shimmy across. Like I could never be a parkour person for a number of reasons.
Yeah, that's two of us. I'm 6'4". I'm still growing into my body. Like no, absolutely not.
But if you had asked
No.
me a few years ago, actually, before I started doing a bunch of AfterBuzz stuff, I would have said public speaking.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I used to get such bad stage fright.
No kidding.
Like going in front of groups of people to speak. Yeah.
So in your therapy scenario, you would be speaking in front of a large group of people. There's zero consequence. You could just kind of get your reps in and feel comfortable.
Exactly.
I like it.
And feel positive affirmation with no matter what I said.
I like it.
See,
All
and
right.
that's
They just stand standing
exactly what
applaud.
I'd use it for.
Is that right?
100%. Doing long form interviews, I get like this. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go cover a carpet. Oh, my hands aren't still. That's great. I'm freaking out. So just a dry run beforehand. Get all that out.
What talent, because it's Dreaming, you could pick anybody, what level of talent would you pick to be on the red carpet?
Oh God, I don't know.
Like, are we going Oscars? Are we going
Put me on-
Grammys?
like
Latin
me on an
Grammys?
Arrow
C-list
premiere
YouTuber.
red carpet.
Oh, you'd interview Stephen Amell.
I'd interview John Barrowman.
Ooh.
I don't know who that is, but it sounded
He's beautiful,
sexy.
and he made out with my friend at Comic-Con.
Is that true?
He sang him happy birthday and made out with him.
I'm
I was gonna
so
say John
jealous.
Barrowman's a
Was that
beautiful
during
man.
his panel?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I
that
love
was-
his Anything Goes panel.
He was a madman.
Because literally
And I was.
anything goes. He's nuts.
That's when I learned who he was and was instantly jealous. And I'm a happily married man, but instantly jealous.
He's an incredible. I have a photo of him princess carrying me that I definitely paid like $90 for.
Could you pull up a picture of this while we hear the
get it.
rest of
Sure.
it? Because
I'll get it.
now I
He's
need to
got
know
you.
who
He's got you.
this man is.
He's got you.
So I find that interesting because you guys both are like, I've never known known either of you to be at a loss of words. That we've been in front of huge groups together.
That's his
I
nice
find
way of
that-
saying he can never get us to shut up.
No,
Well, we're
I didn't
sitting
say
here
it.
shooting the shit with friends, and it doesn't matter.
yeah.
But it's like, hello, person that I would actually like to impress and not fuck up
Okay,
completely.
fair enough.
Let's talk.
Fair enough.
No, for me, I've always had a little bit of stage fright ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
My mom signed me up for ballet when I was real little, and I have a distinct memory of running into my room and crying because it meant performing in front of an
Yeah.
auditorium full of people. So,
Okay.
I mean, again, it's something you get over as you get older and you get more practice talking in front of audiences and going to conventions where you have awesome panels and panelists that you
And people
you
to
work
talk
with.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, as an actor from going way back when, if you ever are at the point where you're not nervous, then you should stop.
Right? Yeah, totally. That's healthy, right?
100%.
Because that
Seriously.
means you don't care anymore.
That means you don't care anymore, and
Yeah.
you're not in it. So that's,
like that.
That's
I like
good and
that.
that's healthy. But there'll be a point where you should be just the right amount of nervous.
Exactly,
Yeah, I
and
like
use
that.
that to fuel your performance.
Exactly.
I can see that.
Exactly.
Side note, I just saw that gentleman staunch record of heterosexuality, and I would also like to make out with that
I
man.
know you can't zoom in, but this is the picture.
I'm
of
just
John.
telling you.
wouldn't?
I'm
Yeah,
just
that was the
telling
picture of
you.
John Barrowman that I picked.
I was sure yours would be Tumblr related, Katie. I'm not going to lie. I was sure that there was some Tumblr bin. Like,
Tumblr.
Tumblr
I am
goes
not
down, and
afraid
you need
of
a,
Tumblr.
I think you need a separation. Oh, I know.
Bold statement.
I am
Ring-
not afraid of Tumblr.
Katie Collins, you would know, is a Tumblr.
I don't know Tumblr.
Tumblr.
I'm stealing that shamelessly. Mark, what would it be for you? Do you
Travel
think?
between gifts.
Not to bring it super down, but
No.
it would be about my body positivity. I've
Okay.
always been, like you mentioned, you're growing into your body.
I am.
I'm still a little weird looking, and it gets me down sometimes, and it keeps me from doing things with friends and family. So I would use it as a way to get over that and get over myself.
I appreciate you being like that transparent. I think that's kind of rad. That's why you tune into this stuff. That's really good.
Real.
It is real.
Real, raw, and inspiring.
Mine's real as well. It's also really nerdy. I mean, I'm terrified. I am 6'4". I've been bigger than most things my entire life, and I am scared shitless of horses. I am
Really?
terrified of horses. They're huge, muscular animals that if I stand in the wrong place, they're going to kick me in the head. It's not okay. I would need
I
horse
could
like
actually-
They should get the right
I could
angle
help
to
you
kick
with
you
that.
in the head.
I could help you with that if you want.
Look at this.
My wife,
We're changing lives here. We're changing lives.
Yeah, my wife's family, they take care of horses. They have horses, so I could help you with that if you want
Immersion
to.
I'm breathing-
therapy. You can do this.
I'm breathing heavily, just thinking about, like, they're terrified. And nobody's scared of horses. They're like, really? You? But yeah, like,
Many
yes,
people
they're
are scared of
Plenty of people are
terrifying.
scared of horses.
I can
Huge,
tell you,
muscular,
I'm
dumb
scared
animals.
of falling off a horse because I've done that.
Oh, is that right?
That's like
I did that twice.
I'm not
On the
afraid of
same
heights.
day.
I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling from them.
Yeah,
It's
I have
not the
longer
fall
to-
that kills you, it's the stop.
The sudden
that kills you.
stop.
And I've
Yeah.
got longer to. We've got longer to fall.
Yeah, it's a great point. That is a great point.
I am
So,
vertically
have you
challenged.
ever
yes.
been in contact with a horse, or is it the concept of horses
Like
that
pen
scares
pals?
you?
Yeah, you definitely had an internet buddy
Damn it,
that we
Mark.
would. Yeah, it was a horse would type back. It was BoJack Horseman.
Mr. Ed?
No, I've ridden horses a couple times. I just it's a weird. It's unlike any other. Like I'm never afraid of public speaking, or I don't like spiders. But like my big one weird fear is just horses. It's kind of terrifying. It's
You
not
know,
okay.
people have all sorts of phobias. I know plenty of people who are scared of birds. I know one person who's scared of chickens in particular. She'll
That's
eat
not
chickens,
true.
no problem.
Yeah, they're
but like a
delicious.
rooster
Yeah, they are
terrifies that
delicious.
person.
They
Well,
must
one of my
hate
friends
the
who was scared of
website.
birds, we accidentally took her into the tiki room. That was a mistake.
It's okay. They're just robots.
Well,
Doesn't
I
matter.
didn't know she was afraid of birds, and my friend who did know forgot. So she's sitting in between us, just kind of still the whole time.
That-
So, did you like the tiki room? No.
Nope.
Why?
me back there.
I feel good. I feel like we got a lot off our chest. I learned a little bit about you guys.
I feel like we've grown closer together as a panel.
I kind of
Yeah.
do too.
Can we get Kumbaya playing,
We
please?
absolutely. Can we bring
Don't do
up?
that.
No,
This isn't Camp Camp.
Nope.
No. Oh.
Well,
If it were Camp Camp,
please.
something would be on fire already.
And I'd be wearing a neckerchief.
That's true.
be wearing a
I would.
neckerchief.
And we'd all be rearranged.
And you wouldn't be wearing shades, which I think is a
That's
really
not
nice
true at
addition
all.
to the panel. As
It's
far as I'm
very
concerned.
bright on Planet Cool.
It is.
Wow.
Planet Cool, you mean the studio?
I'm making fun of myself.
I kind of love it. I kind of love it. So we got a couple other things that I wanted to call your attention to or get your opinions on. What's up with the dean?
So are we taking guesses because they never explicitly find out what it is that the dean is trying to hide from Sam's father.
Right, they don't.
We may find out in the next 2 episodes. We don't know.
That's true. The knee jerk, instinct is that he's embezzling money of some sort.
Embezzling money. Like when I watched it again, I was like, embezzling. That's dumb enough to be real. That's dumb enough to be real.
Genius. That's a crime in like 42 states.
Yeah. It's bear.
Alaska, it's totally legal. So sorry, you don't.
Well, it's a Rooster Teeth show. They would do a visual pun.
Yeah.
Do you think we will find out? Or does it matter, right? Like, is this just literally a device to get him out of their way and out of their hair, and now that they can kind of... Because that now, like, escalates the stakes, right? Like, if Dean's no longer in the picture, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
They were dumb enough to cut him a check from Brainframe Enterprises instead of giving him an envelope of cash.
So, but also,
come on.
cut to him personally, right? That wasn't to the school
That's
or
a
anything. He's
paper trail.
Straight up
That's-
cat. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's a paper trail going to this guy.
I think that looks worse on him than it does them.
I think it does.
Because he wants more money
No,
to
that's
fill
what I'm
in.
saying. Yeah, absolutely. If it is embezzling, then absolutely this is that might be why he asked for $18,000 to begin with. It might never have had anything to do with the state of their lab. It might have just been, oh, this is an opportunity to get that $18,000 that I embezzled. Let's
That's a
make
great
it
point.
even 20.
Exactly. I'm rounding up.
Yeah, and I think I talked about this when we were last episode. A college of that size has to have, unless they're doing extremely poorly, which does not seem to be the case, has to have some form of funding just in case emergencies happen. If there's a fire, if there's a flood,
exactly.
if there's anything, they have that kind of funding on hand that can replace those sort of parts. Like for a college that big that presumably has intelligent people and rich kids and, a higher clientele, for lack of a better word, going to it, $18,000 is not a big deal.
It absolutely is not. I just love it that the check was made out to the dean. So even bets, Mark, do you think that we find out, and is it even relevant, like what the dean's involvement is all this, or is he just, he's free and clear, we blackmailed him and now we can go big?
I think we're done with the dean physically, but I think that opened up a question of what does he want from my dad?
Yeah.
And we're going to get more from Sam's dad as opposed to the dean. And we're just going to cut out the middleman.
And I'm not willing to cut off the possibility of a season 2 just yet.
Oh, sure.
Not knowing the ending.
For sure.
So this may be laying a trail for season 2 should it exist.
I kind of hope the black hole wins. I'm not going to lie. Just take all of them with the
Then we
new
won't
reality.
get a season 2.
I mean, I don't know.
Work
It could
with
be an
me.
anthology,
No, you
right?
have to go to a parallel universe for season 2.
Yes.
It's just a crunch.
Sliders.
It's a crunch. Yeah, cool. Let's talk about
Just
sliders.
slider it up.
Can we do a slider show?
Oh, God.
But maybe it's an anthology kind of thing, like right? Like it's the True Detective of. Crunch Time. Another world-ending event. I don't know.
I will say that this episode called The Big Sleep is kind of a reference to Day 5.
Okay.
Because they called the sleep epidemic the Big Sleep.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of interreferential.
Oh, I like that.
It's kind of like a little wink to the Rooster Teeth
Exactly.
audience.
I
Well,
love
in the
it.
same way that the screens had X-ray and Vav on them at one point.
Yeah. I think it had to have been that tie-in, because I really think the proper episode title for this was Shit Sandwich. That's
so gross.
I just have to...
I was just gonna say I like your line of reasoning, because what if we don't know really what Sam's dad does? What if the reason he's made his fortune is through a lot of wrongdoings, and the reason why the dean doesn't want to let him know is because Sam's dad is the type of person who can make people disappear.
He's a mafia.
or he's the quartermaster.
Or
From the camp. It has to be.
There's a
Has
Camp
to
Camp
be.
tie-in.
He just straight up shows up all animated like Roger Rabbit. Let's just break the show.
You can't tick off Sam's dad because he is a time traveling potential murderer.
Well, I
Definitely.
mean, like Sam will get in trouble, and then he'll bust through the door and say, "I warn you, child."
Speaking of dick fingers.
Speaking of dick fingers,
Which is why he has a hook.
Dildo arm.
Something bad happened.
his hand got caught in the black hole.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're crossing too many streams.
Anyway,
Crossing
you
too
were
many
going to
streams.
say something. I apologize.
Yeah.
I get thrown off every single time we see the dean because my day job, I work at a school, And the dean looks and sounds almost exactly like the president of the school
No.
he
Really?
does. It is uncanny.
And it's not okay.
So I'm looking at it going, oh my God, it's so and so.
You sure the principal doesn't do acting on the side?
I am 100% sure.
Yeah.
I am absolutely 100% sure, but I might ask if he has brothers that do.
Or a wife who has a deviated septum. Or what's the line?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's his doppelganger.
Sure.
It's crazy. And so I am horribly distracted every time he's on screen because he's the polar opposite of the guy I work for. Oh, yeah.
Well, so speaking of the dean, too, I want to talk a little bit about Larry and, like, it being Larry's idea that they straight up hook him up to the brain frame.
Yeah.
Put him in.
He's not the puppy lord. He's the bitch lord.
And straight into his brain.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
It was an
why
opportunity,
not?
and I'm telling you, Larry is smarter than everybody is putting any credit into, and this was his plan to show that he can be stable in the brain frame, which sets up for the biggest party in the universe. So,
But he wasn't stable in the brain frame. He didn't know how to act. He blew it, basically.
but they could blame that on the instability of not using the brain frame and just jumping right in.
I got stuck singing Ave Maria, which, by the way, would be right behind horses as far as like what I need. Like,
altar
therapy
boy
with.
singing?
Yeah. Just singing in general, man. I cannot carry a tune.
I find that hard to believe.
in a bucket.
No. Especially in Los Angeles, like you go karaoke and it's like
And
everybody's
there's
a
so many
karaoke.
talented.
I was going to say,
I don't.
where do you go karaoke?
feel
Because
like
every
everybody-
place I walk by is just like,
Sardos.
howling.
I will tell you,
Stardust is the
There's
best.
dogs outside howling
it is, as
along
a matter
with
of
them.
fact. And I know a number of AfterBuzz and former AfterBuzz hosts that destroy at karaoke. But we can
Yeah,
talk about
no,
that later.
it's so that's one of the reasons why public speaking and just performing in front of an audience in general, because I don't have any singing ability either.
is that right?
So yeah, the fact that we know in Los Angeles so many talented
Sure.
singers, it's like, why would I go do karaoke with people who can actually sing?
I'll hold the
I know,
fort for
and they're
y'all.
always bashful about it, right? They fame this like, oh no, I'm not.
Oh, it's
I don't want to get up.
karaoke.
And they have a set list with them. They're like, yeah, just bring down the house.
I'll hold the fort for you guys. No worries.
Last thing I want to touch on before we get moving, I want to talk a little bit about Sam. Like you said at the top,
Yeah.
that this is kind of the beginning of the end, right? We're seeing maybe even more of his descent into supervillainy.
Oh, yeah.
And I also want to ping back and circle back to we talking about Berkman not taking the money from the handicapped kid.
Yes.
And then taking it from the guy who never got his experience because the dean showed up.
It's just common not to remember.
So
you know?
that on one end that cancels out the niceness in his heart, but I think that was a part of Sam's story. Is he thinks he's a nice guy now. He's just doing it to impress Hannah.
Sure, yeah.
I also think that him not taking the money from her meant that means she's going to come back again because she knows we're nice, and then we'll take her money, and then we'll charge her more. But in terms of Sam, I don't think Berkman and Hannah have anything happening. I think
don't?
No,
No.
none whatsoever. They're
interesting.
comfortable with each other, and they're being friendly with each other. Because Berkman was even respectable. They hugged. He saw that he was looking, and then disengaged. Not as like a guilty thing.
or because he was caught. So I'm going to go
I
ahead
don't
and
think so.
posit.
I think it would have been more
Okay,
like
so-
you would have been more Berkman.
So two different theories here.
So I'm going to go on the record and say that Berkman's a little bit more calculated. Realize that he's in a group of ostensibly polite and normal people, and he can put on the normal mask for a little bit, like I do from time to time when I come into the studio. And he's normal and polite. And like to your point, he's respectful of the fact that Sam saw them and kind of disengaged from that, right? But that. He's definitely interested. Whether that happens or not, and whether she's interested back, and that's reciprocated, I don't know. My bet is that they're a thing, and they end up being a thing, and it drives Sam further fucking crazy. Do you agree? Where are you? We know where this side of the table is.
I mean, again, it's, we've got a black hole potentially destroying the universe.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. I actually think I'm on the opposite end. I think that Sam is our villain, and that Berkman, and actually Caitlin in the hashtag also pointed this out too, that Berkman's going to be our unlikely hero. And I disagree. I feel like he and Hannah respect each other, and that it could turn into a romantic thing, but I think it's honestly just that she's one of the few people that actually can put Berkman in his
Right.
place and can roll with the punches just as much as he can.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Again,
Katie?
this conversation
Yeah.
you were having earlier, you pointed out that Berkman treats her like a human being and respects her,
Sure.
and the flip side is Sam is just, it's the thing I want. So that's...
And it's a
Maybe.
flip from seeing Berkman as a terrible human being
Yeah.
and seeing Sam as like, oh, he's a sad puppy, and then how both of those have been misconstrued.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, fair enough.
And
I mean,
it depends on who's
Berkman's
telling the
not
story.
a
Yeah,
good
exactly.
human being, let's be real. He's still kind of a dick. But there's
of?
more
Kind
to
of?
him.
Yeah.
But there's
Same page.
more to him than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
Sam,
of
there doesn't seem to be much more to him than money and inability to just take no for an answer.
With Berkman, when you give him a goal, he can work with other people, which it's remarkable to actually watch him and Hannah work together, and with Connor as well, and not only that, he's also having fun with whatever it is that they're doing, like. And granted, the first time we saw it, it was in a very gross, awful, terrible fantasy, but all of these fantasies are relatively tame, with the occasional exception.
Before it gets into dick fingers.
But with the occasional exception, but like he rolls with the punches and has fun
Totally.
with everybody, and so it's fun watching them all have fun together.
Yeah. Like, this is a group that works really well together, and then there's just kind of Sam on the periphery picking
Plotting and scheming.
So we wrap this whole episode with Larry. It's the party of the century. We've got like groups of people. Mark, you said from the very beginning that he was really pivotal in all this. Like we
did.
picked up on that at the beginning. What's his role kind of going forward?
I want to see how we fade from Larry being the first person kicked out of a dream and puking to we only need one mind to handle this party.
Yeah.
Instead of three people,
Yeah,
like we've
no,
seen,
we don't-
we have one person. Also, we don't know if this is the only site. We don't know if there are more people elsewhere.
Yeah.
So they could have really taken off and created some new tech. Why did they have to leave the college? But why is the black hole in the college?
Yep.
Did they know that the black hole was coming and then go, oh shit, we have to relocate? I think that if not Larry, one of the dogs is responsible for
Yes.
something.
I kind of love because there's so much
Accidentally
ground to
tripping
leave.
something.
Knowing that there's only 6 episodes, right? Like there's so much ground to cover from like world-ending, from where we are now to like world-ending black hole. So how do we get there, Katie?
Including more Casper
Who
Van
even
Dien.
knows?
Yeah, God, I would take
Yes,
Casper
I'd
Van
be down
Dien
for
needs
more
to come
Casper
back.
Van Dien.
Berkman's lost penis has got to
Surprise
come back.
twist. Casper
did.
Van Dien saves the day. He saves the universe.
That wouldn't
Yeah.
be a surprise.
That.
That wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like that's pretty obvious.
Starship
I mean, like
Troopers.
we all kind of know that's coming.
Predictable
What
ending, guys.
Casper Van Dien's on this side of the table.
What I'm intrigued by is the fact that the agents focused on Sam, saying, well, you're the one who's giving us shit, well, you're the one who's not telling us everything. And it might be true that they're doing the same with everyone else, but the show makes a point of not showing us
Right.
everyone else's interrogation room and just showing us Sam and just showing us seeing him hit his breaking point and give up the address for this party. So the question is, do the other 3 people know this party is happening? Were they any part of it? Or is this all Sam's doing and he's the only one who knows about it?
Oh, that's interesting.
We don't know.
Well,
So
and Connor. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I would just bet, I would assert that no. I think this is an evolution, right? We started with fantasy, we expanded, and then we land on Party of the Century. This is their new business model, and probably the one that's really going to bring in the dough. So I'm betting no, and I'm interested to see. I think it's a really good point. We don't see anybody else's interrogations. So is it the fact that they're picking on Sam because he's the most easily breakable and like a couple shit sandwiches, and he's like, I'll tell you everything you want to know, or is it going similarly with everybody? I don't think we know. Do you?
I like Katie's theory a lot. I really do.
that it's Sam set this up.
Because when we hear about the missing student, and everybody else is like, I have no idea what
Yeah.
you're talking about. But Sam is the last person. He could, being jealous of their venture, started with the funding. He paid for everything. He has the receipts for everything.
Yeah.
He has Larry build a new thing in the new site and gets repeat customers for a cheaper rate to do the Party of the Century, which is easier, simpler, everybody's in on it. And
Interesting.
I think it's entirely possible. I think you hit on something
I like
really
that.
big there.
And even a couple episodes ago, when they're interrogating Connor and they're like, "Where's Larry?" And Connor kind of smiles, and you can't tell if it's a knowing smile or not. But he's like, "So you guys don't have Larry?" And it's like that's very telling. It's like, does he know where Larry is? And now that he knows that Larry has evaded them, is he like, "Yeah, go Larry"?
I think it's more he doesn't need to talk. It's like
yeah.
they don't have all the information. I don't need to say anything.
Well, yeah, true, and I think they've all got a fiscal interest in making sure this party goes down okay. So if it's mid-party wherever they are, right? Of course they're going to keep their lips sealed.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, no. And the only other thing I want to point out is how much fun I always get a kick out of watching The Prisoner's Dilemma in film and television and things like that.
Yeah, that's sick.
A little twisted.
I'm kidding.
No, it's fun.
It's a feat of acting. Come on.
But yeah, no, it's always fun because again, it's a great character study when you get that.
Well, guys, we are a little lean on time. Katie, can we start with you at the end of the table? Let's get final thoughts on this episode. Any other predictions you want to throw out there for our remaining 2 episodes? Because we have so much ground to cover.
Good Lord, is it episode 5 yet?
I know, it's crazy.
I'm just at the point where I just want to go full tilt and go, no, I want to watch it. I want to watch it. Show me the next one. I might watch it tonight.
I'm definitely going to watch it tonight.
We're going to watch 5 and 6?
No, just
Just
5.
5, okay.
Just 5.
Just making sure the blood pack stays.
You monster.
No, I just didn't want to get behind if you guys are all having a 5 and 6
just
party
5.
over
No,
there,
just
and I'm
5.
not in that party this century. That would suck. Outside looking in. Megan, any other thoughts?
I am sticking with my Sam as our supervillain, and I actually really love the theory you just postulated right now that he is the one that set up this other thing.
Technically both
that
of
he's
us.
trying to come up with a new business venture, and that he manipulated Larry into doing this. I love that.
If that's the case, it could be this one's set up incorrectly because it doesn't have Connor or the force of 2 dueling brain frames that's created the black hole.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then
Dueling brain frames.
and then we just
Like pianos, but awful.
and then we just turn one off, and boom, black hole's gone. I like it.
Black Hole Sun.
Mark, drop some knowledge on us.
drop.
Anything else?
I'm beyond excited that I'm finally getting a chance. I know this is episode 4 and we're already in it, but the fact that since RTX you've been like, fucking crunch time, and it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it is a very it's hard because this one, since it's so science fiction-y and so sort of personality driven, everybody can have their own theories, and I think even by the time we reach the end of episode 6, we're still going to have theories as to what's real and what isn't.
I hope so.
But this one's keeping me in suspense, and watching the shorts like The Adventures of Larry and Love were very helpful in terms of scratching that crunch time itch. But this series is so much fun. We've been talking to some of the creatives, and we're trying to get them in. And I would love to pick their brains. But I can only imagine all the stuff we're going to have to talk about.
Yes.
And then be like, no, but we want to talk to you about things.
But give us more. Give us more.
How about you, Patrick?
Tell us stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I will say this. I think you guys said it nicely. I will leave here. I will text all of you, let you know what we think about episode 5. I'm excited to get to that and talk through it with all you guys. So
Yes. Caitlin Geddes in chat says, have fun trying not to watch 5 and then go right into 6.
I know that's a problem.
It's gonna be
it takes some
torturous.
self-control.
Willpower, but
guys,
we have a schedule.
If you're watching this, please tweet at us and let us know what your therapy would be, what you want to see in episodes 5 and 6, and any other suggestions for this show. With that, guys, we kind of got a wrap. Let's start at the end of the table. Katie, where can people find you?
First of all, thank you, Caitlin, for holding down the hashtag and the live chat tonight. We adore you.
Caitlin.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I think we can announce this because the show has actually aired this past weekend. Robots in Disguise is back. We're doing every other Thursday starting this Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Star Wars Rebels is tomorrow. Arrow is on Wednesday. Ruby starts on November 3rd, every other Thursday.
7 p.m.
So we're
Pacific Standard
switching
Time.
off between Robots and Ruby at 7 p.m.
Robots and Ruby's all right. That sounds like a good band name.
Robots and Ruby.
I would kill for that crossover.
Okay, guys, I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Menguin. That's TheMenguin. I am also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, most of which Katie just listed. And I write articles for The Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check that out.
And I'm the internet's Mark B. Donica. You find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. If you're a fan of Day 5 and couldn't get enough of that little minx Sam, I interviewed Walker Satterwhite today on AfterBuzz TV. So make sure to go back, watch that interview. It was a lot of fun sitting down with him. We talked about how RTX made him play. It turned him on to Overwatch.
Oh,
and
right.
getting
Yeah.
terribly
Cool.
addicted to Overwatch. It was a fun conversation. Go check it out, and then follow the team at ABTV Rooster Team on Twitter. We have a YouTube page. We have an Instagram page. All that fun stuff. Tumblr. We're going to be having fun graphics and announcements for any Ruby involvement, any Crunch Time involvement. Go there.
Shoot. And
That-
I completely forgot to announce. Sorry.
Do it.
Megan and I will be at LA Comic Con, formerly
yeah.
known as Kamikaze, this
go.
Saturday.
Oh,
We
right
have
on.
a Star Wars Rebels panel at 3 p.m. in room 406 AB, I believe. We'll tweet out more information. It's in the program guide, but if you are at Kamikaze/LA Comic Con, look for us there. I will probably be carrying a basket of exotic butters.
Exotic butter.
Wow. I
Exotic
don't even know how I
butters.
follow up exotic
Exotic
butters.
butters.
I'm going to stand in the audience. I'm
Casual
going to come to
bongos.
Yes, that's exactly.
Exotic butters.
I'm coming to your
Exotic
panel,
butters.
and I'm going to hold up like big, huge signs with you guys' names on it. Go, Katie, go, Meg.
The people behind you will be furious.
It is what it is. I'm in everybody's way being this tall. You can find me at Peter the D's on Twitter. I'm a bunch of shows with these guys. I'm totally excited about Ruby. I'm totally excited about episode 5. So come back and see us, tweet at us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
That's a lot of dicks.
dicks.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.